Welcome everybody, my name is Dominique and today I will be guiding you through a mat Pilates inspired core practice using a soft mini Pilates ball. We will start on our backs for this practice with our ball placed in between our shoulder blades. So once you have your mat rolled out and your ball ready to go, you'll turn to face towards the front of the mat. To start, you'll have the knees bent, feet planted. Bring the ball behind you, place it between the shoulder blades, and roll yourself down. Legs will extend long, and then allow yourself to drape over the ball. Head leans back, arms extend open. We'll take a few moments here to allow ourselves to connect to the breath and to the body, to center and to focus. Notice your breath, the inhales and exhales. Then wherever you are in your next breath cycle, empty the breath completely. Together we inhale through the nose, open mouth, sigh, release. Find a natural cadence. We'll get ready to move. Interlace the fingers, place them behind the back of the head, and then as you start to lift yourself up, you'll find engagement through the legs, point through the toes, inner thighs together, zip up. And then you'll find this place on the ball when you're leaning back that your core is still engaged, but you're not quite in a chest lift. So this will be our lowered position. So we'll exhale, lift up, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Keep moving here. Allow the head to hang heavy into the hands. Broad through the chest here. And you might start to feel the heat build pretty quickly. I had a student ask me the other day, where am I supposed to feel this? I'm feeling it all through my core. I think she meant the front of her abs, and that's exactly what we want. So it'll be all the way down, so top, middle, and low. Make sure that your ribs are knitting in. And we have a few more before we start to add on. So for some, this might be a slow burner if you have a much stronger core or stronger abdominals. It might take a little bit longer for you to feel some heat here. That's okay. Connect to the muscles. Perhaps you close your eyes to bring awareness to the firing of the abdomen. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. So we'll lower down. Remember, when you lower, you do not want your rib cage to flare. As you exhale, you'll lift your right leg up. Inhale, lower back. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So now we have double instability here. So not only is the ball causing a little bit of instability, but now the lifting of the right leg is going to add for a little bit of pelvic instability. So again, even though the right leg is lifting, you're zipping up through the inner thighs. So this is total core work here. Deep core is included. Keep moving. And really pay attention when you're lowering down. So sometimes what happens is we lower a little bit too far and our rib cage flares open. Really knit the ribs in, keep everything taut so that as you lower back, core is still engaged. A little bit of heat in right quad. Head is heavy in the hands to avoid straining of the neck. We have a few more. Last 3. Last 2. After this last one, we switch legs. So our left leg will lift. So lower right leg lower back. This time as you exhale, lift left leg, lower everything, inhale. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower, exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Keep as much engagement through your left leg as you can. Right leg is also engaged here as well. There's a lot going on. Body's working. You might even feel some shakes. Don't forget to breathe. Stay focused. Move with precision. Control the lift just as much as you control the lower, and vice versa. We have a few more on this left side, and then we'll start to switch up the movement. Last 3, last 2, last 1. So the head is still in the hands. Bend one knee, lower the foot, and bend the other. So now we go into a chest lift again, this time with the knees bent. Lower back, lift. Lower back, lift, lower, and lift. Inner thighs are together. Squeeze. Zip through the inner thigh. So you want to zip up towards the pelvic floor. Again, as you lower back, try not to flare the rib cage. We want to keep the ribs knitting in the whole entire time. So we're just changing up the stability of the pelvis, changing up the stability of the torso. This might feel easy for some, that's okay, keep moving. Then of course, just like we did on the other side, we will add on. So give me a few more here. And if this does feel easy for you, I promise it won't shortly. Last 3, last 2, last 1, lower back. So we'll extend right leg long, hover it off of the earth, left foot is still planted. This is the release position. As you exhale, bend right knee, left elbow over towards right knee. Inhale, extend or release. Exhale, bend, engage. Inhale, extend, release. Exhale, bend, engage. So I'm gonna use those cues interchangeably. Keep moving. Exhale, bend. Inhale, release. Exhale, bend. So notice what goes on with the left leg. Is it moving left and right? Try to keep it stable. Try to keep the engagement through inner left thigh. So there's still, again, a lot going on here. You might not realize it, but this is a dynamic movement, especially with the ball involved here. So we're challenging our core stability, our pelvic stability. So keep moving. I'll let you know when it's time to switch to the other side. And yes, we will eventually release our hands from behind the head. You might start to feel a little bit of a burn in the shoulders or elsewhere in the arms. They'll get a break, I promise. Last 3, last 2, last 1, plant the foot. So you'll extend left leg long, go right into the other side. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lift right elbow towards left knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract and bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it over. Keep moving. Sometimes it takes a few reps before you can really find your center of gravity or the positioning that helps keep you most stable. Again, right foot is planted, right inner thigh is engaged, right leg is helping to keep stability while the left leg is moving. Control, focus, flow. We have a few more and then we're going to switch up the placement of the ball and switch up the movement. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Lower the foot and you can drape yourself over the ball just like we did at the beginning. Extend the arms long. Perhaps you roll out a little bit. All right, we bring the arms alongside, use them as a kickstand, remove the ball, lower yourself down, and then this time the ball is going to go underneath the sacrum. So the same way we would press up into a bridge, you'll do here, press through the heels, lift yourself up, ball comes underneath, lower yourself down. The ball is meant to create some instability. So we'll bring the knees into the chest, extend the legs up, see how you feel. You are gonna feel a little unstable, but if you're rocking a lot, adjust the ball, okay? So there's some freedom to adjust, and then you'll extend your arms long aside you, point through the toes, extend the legs, and we'll move into a scissor kick. So you'll lower right leg. As you lift right, you start to lower left. As you lift left, you'll start to lower right. As you lift right, start to lower left, and so forth. Keep moving. Ribs knit in here. Try not to flare the rib cage. And also as you lift the legs, try to keep them in line with the hip when they come up. So imagine there's a 90-degree angle with your hip as the toes point up to the ceiling. I know sometimes that can be hard, but that'll help us use muscle versus momentum. This is one of my favorites. Lower abs are definitely being challenged. Sometimes we don't realize how much engagement we're getting or how much we're fatiguing our muscles with some of these movements that might feel a little bit easier until we do something that challenges our stability even more. And whatever challenges your stability might be different than someone else, and that's okay. That's why we do lots of different variations, different loads, different rep counts. We have a few more. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Now both feet meet up towards the ceiling. We're gonna do something very similar to what they do on a Pilates reformer, which is called feet and straps, or it's one of the names for it. And so essentially, you'll keep your legs together, lower the feet, bring them wide in a semicircle, up to center. Lower the feet, bring them around, back to starting position. Lower, bring them around, back to starting. So this can be a small movement or a large movement. That depends on how much space you have. Also depends on your stability. So we do not want to compromise our form for depth of the movement, right? So I would prefer that you keep the movement smaller, shallower, and move with precision versus trying to make this big, grand leg circle and be flopping all over the place. The idea is to keep control here. Last 2, and then we switch the direction. Abs are definitely getting tired. So when we switch, we go out first, lower down, then come up. So it'll be out, lower, come around, then come up, out, Semicircle around and come up. So check in, our ribs knitting in, definitely getting tired. So really control, make it smaller if you need. Make sure your arms are engaged and palms are pressing into the mat beside you to help with some stability. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Bend through the knees. Now we'll move into some toe taps. So try to keep the legs together, tap the toes and lift. So we want a 90-degree angle with the knees the entire time. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Keep the ribs knitting in. For some of us, we might not tap the earth, that's okay. Again, I would prefer for you to have a smaller movement, move with precision and control, opposed to a larger movement and lose the precision and control. And it's okay if you start larger, then move smaller, or start smaller and move into a larger movement. So we also want to try to keep the knees in line with the hips as they come up. I know that can be hard. We really want to work with muscle versus momentum. We have a few more. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Lower the feet down, press through the heels, lift, come off the ball, and release. So we'll roll over onto the right side. The ball will come underneath the rib cage. You want to think like bra strap area. So it's kind of centered on the bra strap. And then you'll lower yourself down. Right hand crosses over towards left shoulder. Left hand over towards right. Feet are extended long. Point through the toes. This is a small movement. So you'll want to lean over the ball enough that your left side obliques are still engaged and you're not like flopped all the way over finding a stretch, but you're also not in the crunch yet either. So then from here, we exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. My hair's starting to look all crazy from it rubbing all over the mat. Probably look like I rubbed it against a ball, you know, when it gets all static. That's okay, no one cares, right? No judgment here. Keep engagement through the legs, really control the lift. So again, this doesn't have to be a very grand movement here. We just want to make sure we're engaging left side obliques. We have about 5 more. Last 4, last 3, last 2, last 1, and then we're going right into the other side. So you can either flip complete directions or just flip over, your choice. We want to move quickly, ball underneath bra strap, straight through the legs, left hand to right shoulder, right hand to left shoulder. Find the lowered position where right obliques are still engaged, then exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Keep moving, keep breathing. Again, zip up through the inner thighs. Legs are definitely engaged here. There's a lot going on. About halfway. We have a couple of more exercises after this, and then we're done. Last 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. So you'll roll over, grab the ball. Knees are on the earth and bent. You'll place the ball in between the thighs, squeeze the ball. Hands underneath the shoulders. You're in a tabletop position, knees underneath the hips. Tuck the toes, then we lift and lower. So you stay hovering as you lift and lower, lift and lower. Press up and away from the mat. So you're thinking separation through the shoulder blades. Weight is evenly distributed through the hands. Neutral neck. We have 10, 9, control the movement, 8, 7, keep squeezing on the ball. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little break here. And then we'll do something similar where we have the feet tucked and knees hovering, but then we'll start to tick-tock the knees left and right. So tuck the toes, start to hover the knees, squeeze on the ball, tick-tock over towards the left, rock over towards the right. Over towards the left, over towards the right, over towards the left, over towards the right. Keep moving. You might start to slide a little bit. If so, just walk the feet back up. Just a few more to each side. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Come through center, lower the knees, untuck the toes, take the ball out from in between the legs, sit back, child's pose. Find your breath. And then you can place the ball alongside the mat. We are done with the ball. And then walk your hands over towards the right, and you can lean into the left side to stretch through left side body. Walk through center, other side, hands off to the left. This time, lean into the right side body. Come back through center, and then lift up into a tabletop and just rotate around so that feet are planted, knees are bent, and the hands are behind you. You can bring your fingers out to the sides of the mat, press through the heels, lift yourself up. You'll feel the stretch throughout the front of the shoulders, perhaps the biceps. You might even feel a stretch through the core here. Then lower yourself down. We'll move into a seated mermaid. So you can go ahead and find a simple cross-legged position. Right hand down, left hand overhead, stretch long. You can roll out left wrist. And then release, come through center. We move to the other side. Left hand down, right hand overhead. Roll out right wrist. And release, come back to center. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today for this core practice. Please be sure to hit the like button below and to leave a comment. If you have not already done so, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and to share with your friends. I'll see you next time.